We are back with another episode of Four Quarter Talk podcast. We've got I don't know how many episodes in hand that are just sitting on my hard drive and all that, but mixture of technical difficulties and working pretty much. But I am Josh Masoki, joined by my co-host as always,
Matas Baranauskas.
and it's over. It's over.
And
The
we
com-
didn't even start it.
yeah, that's the crazy part, and I'm at the point now where. Because in the last two, I said, "Oh yeah, let's talk about the stuff that we missed and all of that." But I can't be asked to do that anymore, man. Like, let's just push forward, and I'm gonna just do everything in my power to get this
We
one out.
probably we at the start we probably say our predictions, uh, what our predictions were before the
Yeah,
season
we did.
started.
Yeah, we did. And I mean, we both had the Celtics. I think you had them in five.
I had them in five. Yeah, I was
I had
confident
them.
in five as well.
Yeah, and it felt like it was like out of respect, like you were just trying not to say four, but
No,
and mine
no,
was out of respect too. I said, all right, like I respect them enough, like Kyrie and Luka enough to say, okay, they'll get maybe two at home. But yeah, it's
I was
look
like because we always have those Celtics games.
yeah, that
But I
was
feel
part of
like,
it. That was part of it
but
too.
I feel like this series we won two of those games already.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the part that's probably got the Mavs kicking themselves is that you did have those games and you still
Yeah,
won.
exactly.
But last series, you had those games last series and you still won.
Yep.
So it's like there ain't nothing you can really do at this point when the best player on the team isn't even playing at his best until the game three, and you're still comfortably winning. No, not a lot you can do. But before we do go into that series, we lost two legends of the game over the past week. First, it was Bill Walton, and you know, I didn't obviously he's very much before our time in terms of his playing days. But we knew of his legendary status as a former MVP. Um,
I'm a
he was
champion.
former champion, former MVP, quite a big member of the Celtics organization as well. Um, I think when I think of him, I think of the Blazers more, but
Uh,
but
just because like I feel like all the pictures of him usually like in playing days is with the Blazers.
as a player anyway. But then we more so know him as in his kind of analyst commentator type career and how he was just always just saying some wild stuff. But he just seemed like a really big personality. And yeah, just a big loss for the game, for the community of hoops. And yeah, just another legend that's gone. So um, just recognizing his career achievements, what he meant to the game, and yeah, rest in peace to him. And then the second one, just these last couple of days, was Jerry West, which I'll be honest, had much more of an impact. I mean, he's the logo.
Yeah. He's like
Personally,
obviously he's the
I
logo.
knew personally more about Jerry West, and it's just you. He's the logo. He's the logo. He's the first Finals MVP. Um,
And he created the few
yeah,
dynasties in
he
basketball. So
after he was a winner during his career, but even after his career, he created 8 championship teams. Um, I mean, you could split the player and the, player coach slash front office. He's the reason the Warriors didn't trade Klay Thompson for Kevin Love. He was part of drafting Kobe. He was part of signing Shaq. He was part of the Showtime Lakers in their front office decision making. Um, he might have been part of the Shea trade, but we'll forget that. But yeah, no, just a legend through and through, as we keep saying the logo. So that's a great miss, a great loss for the sport, and it's really weird. He was a living legend, and yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, yeah, just crazy sudden news to hear. One of my favorite shows.
just a couple months ago, like he was on the podcast with Paul George.
Yeah. No, he was.
Like, which is really crazy. And now it's like he's got just gone.
Yeah, no, but I'm just happy that he was alive to witness being celebrated on the top 75
Yeah,
and having that moment being around all those and just being recognized and even just being the logo in itself is just like you couldn't there's no greater like sign of respect than having that and being able to live that through for most of his life. So yeah, just as we said with Walton, just a great loss of the game. But his legacy lives on. I mean, everyone that's watched the NBA has seen him. You know, they've
yeah,
seen his logo, and yeah, rest in peace to him. And I'm sure the NBA will continue to do a lot to honor both of them throughout its finals and beyond. So yeah, it's crazy, man. We just lost a lot of legends over the last couple of years. A lot of really integral parts of the NBA's history. Yeah. But anyway, on that note, let's move on to these NBA Finals series, which, as I said, it's over. It's over. I'm before because we'll go through game by game, all of that stuff, all that boring stuff. But yeah, Matters can go through. I just want to say I lied. I lied. When I in the episode I didn't come out, I was saying, oh yeah, I just can't wait to watch as a neutral fan. You know, it's fun. All of that. I'm not a neutral fan. I lied. I lied. I'm not a neutral fan. I'm not a Celtics fan. Not a Celtics fan, but this has been like one of the best hate watches. Like I think the last hate watch for me that hit like the Raptors Warriors hit a little bit, but it kind of not as much because they got injured, so it didn't hit as much. But this hate watch, bro, and just the way that it's happening, oh, bro, like man, and Luca fouling out like because of oh yo, it's so poetic that Shea fouls for the loser series. I look at Luca fouling out and look at him getting cooked by Brian Windhorst because he just this has been the thing. Even during our series, the only I mean, one of the reasons why we were able to even make the series competitive towards, you know, in the middle of the series when it looked like all hope was lost, was that Luca just kept crying so much that it was derailing his team. I mean, he does these take fouls where he just fouls on purpose just to get the attention or stays down on the floor. And then because he stays on the floor, now they get the biggest bucket of the game. I think against us, he was basically complaining to the refs, and then Chet hit basically the game winner. Like it's just yeah. I mean, I'm blending topics now in terms of Luca with the refs and that, but I'm eating good, man. I'm eating good with this hate watch, and I'm a temporary Celtics fan for the last week or so. Yeah.
welcome.
I think it's just us, the Timberwolves and Celtics versus the world right now.
Yep,
Yeah. But all right,
100%.
let's get into real hoops. What have you seen that has manifested in a 3-0 lead right now?
Uh, I feel like just because of game two and three, what happened those games, I would say our defense 100% is the way we basically said like, okay, Luca, you can do and you can score how many points you want, but like we won't let anyone else do anything because as you know, PG Washington was very very good from corner threes in the especially your series, and then Celtics said like, nope, you're not getting any corner threes. I feel like they shot like just whole series they had like three corner threes, which is insane. Where they were number one team in the league, they led the league in corner threes all season. But like
Yeah.
Selby said, like no, we know you're too good at that, or I say no. But then game one it was like just Porzingis show. I don't think Mavs
Bro,
thought that can
crazy.
happen.
Yeah, it was just so unexpected for him to come back and be at that level right away. And unfortunately for him, obviously, that was his only game of the series. And
Well,
it's just
he played game two as
yeah,
well.
yeah, I guess. But I mean, what he played what two his longest run, his longest run in a playoffs, and he's only been able to play what two, yeah, 3 games. That is really
Uh,
unfortunate.
Did he get injured in Miami's game one or game
I think
two?
so. I think it was game one.
Yeah, so it's three three games in the playoffs. And I was like, it's final run and it's 3 games.
Yeah, and I think he got hurt in game one of the first round against the Clippers when he was with the Mavs as well. So it's like literally, bro's played in like game one of the first round, game one of the first round, game one and two of the finals.
And it's the fact that like this injury is like was documented like 30 times in
It's
history. So,
crazy. It would be him, wouldn't it? It would be him.
yeah.
But yeah, just to add what you said about the corner threes, I think going to this series and this entire playoff run, the two biggest weapons for the Mavs have been corner threes and lobs. And they've taken away the corner three, and they've had I can't even remember a lob dunk. In fact, through the first game, I think they had one lob attempt because
Yeah.
the way that they played the defense on the bigs, and that's one thing that we'll talk about with Tatum and how yes, he's not been amazing offensively, but he's done a lot of little things that are really big things. And one of them is he's been the guy that's been taking on the bigs, and he's been pretty much man marking them and making sure that they're not in any position to go for lobs. And that's been a big part of because that opens up a lot for their offense. And Joe Mazzulla's just been putting on a masterclass coaching wise because
He's a
everyone
sicko. He's a sicko.
he's a sicko. He's a sicko. But he's very brave, sicko. I mean, interchangeable, really. Um, when you look at the daunting task of matching up with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, uh, he had a philosophy. He said, we don't blitz. We don't blitz. We play straight up." And obviously, a lot of teams have the pieces to play straight up, but when you have a talent like that, offensive scoring talent like that, it's easy to let up. And I think I've probably seen like one aggressive double, but they went straight back. And you just trust they've trusted their weapons, and it's worked. It's worked for sure. So I mean, it really does look like he's definitely watched through each and every series the Mavs played before and seen what he can take from each one because I think watching the series, it would be easy for me to be mad and say, oh, like that it's as simple as, oh, PJ Washington can shoot now, but I can't shoot anymore. But not many teams have the pieces to actually exploit the Mavs in that same way. Not many teams have such a switchable defense or I mean, it's so funny. I'm watching Luca ISO. He's like, nah, I ain't got it. Let me get a screen to fight to hunt. And it's like you're getting a screen to get Drew off you to get Derek White on you.
No, it's in my opinion, it's funny when the screen they get Sam Hauser clamps Luca like
Yeah, yeah, clamps him up. Well, Kyrie gets clamped up by Peyton
yeah.
Pritchard. And then offensively, attacking Luca, just attacking Luca. And we saw what 13 blow bys most in NBA in what NBA playoff
There's
history
more
as well,
than that.
or in the last 10 years or something like that.
Yeah. But I feel like
Which is
last like six, maybe.
a crazy stat to that's a crazy stat to be keeping. That's wild. But I was saying this in the Timberwolves series that why because in the same way that they were, you saw Anthony Edwards being attacked by Kyrie and how tired he was. I was like, why didn't they do that with Luca? But as I said, personnel, it's not always as easy. You've got Rudy Gobert there who someone can help off. You got players on our Giddy, help off Giddy, all that thing. But now you got a team that's five out, everyone's a shooter. You can't help off anyone. So you really just have to allow Luca to hold to just take that. And it's Kyrie too. It's Kyrie too. Kyrie's getting cooked as well, and they've tried to counteract that with having a couple, having Kyrie not guard the corners because he was getting blown by a lot in the corners. But still, it's just the Celtics have too many pieces, man. And they play well for most of the series. They play the right way. I was watching game three thinking, okay, like they're about to blow this open. Like this is ridiculous because it's rare that you see a team that just sticks to their philosophy through and through, and then yeah, and then
Yeah,
they start. They
well, it's
decided,
always I saw just lead getting like 17, 15, 12. Like Joe got called timeout. Like
yeah,
10, then was 10, 7 points. Then he called a timeout. And then Sam Hauser said like yesterday, like he enjoyed that. Like Joe Mazzulla, he enjoyed the like lead going away. It's like, what do you
he
mean?
gets up to that stuff, doesn't he? He just watching them struggle. But nah, I think it's like this haymaker syndrome that a lot of teams have. Lord knows I know it with when it feels like you've secured the win, uh, they just wanna hit the home run on every play. You start seeing them take heat check shots. I mean, it's just I hate watching that type of thing because it just takes me back to like the 2016 Western Conference Finals. We're up 3-1. Everything was clicking. And then now it's like, no, I wanna hit the shot that demoralizes the Warriors. I want to hit the shot that demoralizes the Mavs and take them out. Like I need to hit the signature shot. Tatum, I've got to hit. I'm gonna hit the next side step three. I'll hit
Yeah,
the I'll hit the next one. And it was just yeah, it was just terrible. Because it's funny because even JJ Redick was saying on the broadcast, he was saying you just love to see a team that sticks to their philosophy, and then like right after they just
yeah,
stopped exactly after, and that timeout with Jason Tatum saying like guys, you got to stop taking step back threes, you got to take the easy ones. Like, bro, you're the one that's taking them.
yeah. That's the thing.
Uh,
He's the one that most of the time he takes those. So
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, so obviously they made it interesting. I'll be honest though, like I was enjoying the hate watch so much that I was about to say, because I was watching it thinking, oh, it's about to be a blowout. They're gonna take after the Tillman. Oh my goodness, Tillman, Xavier Tillman, bro. I
He
was
was
watching this game and I
he
was
was
like,
so good.
yeah, but bro, I'll be honest. At first, I was like, I picked the game and I was like, Tillman finals minutes, interesting. Uh, and
Who
he
would you prefer? Like question: Who would you prefer,
No,
Tillman
no, no.
or
It's
Luke
not.
Cornett?
It's not. It's
Tillman or
not that
Luke
it's a
Cornett?
bad decision. It's not a bad decision. It's just funny. Like it's just
To
in
be fair, he
itself.
barely played all playoffs, and now he has 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah. No, it's not that. It's not that I wouldn't do the same thing, but it's just a funny. It's just a funny thing to think about. And nah, he did his thing, and it. But bro, that three is the type of three that just makes you like skip up. Like, all right, it's over. It's
Yep.
over. At home too, the crowd was basically all but like they were pretty much about to leave in like the third quarter. Um, but anyway, they made it
And
kind of interesting.
did you see the reasoning why Mazzulla went with Tillman in the series? Because the Grizzlies played Dallas the, the Dallas
Right.
last year, and he said like Tillman knows how they play, and like he had a very good series, so that's why he went with Tillman because he played against them and he played well. So
Jeez, man. That's
I
crazy.
don't think anyone else would think about that.
No
Like,
one else is thinking about that. That's crazy. Wow.
oh,
Yeah. That's good though, because when you have a coach like that obviously he must have had this conversation with Tillman himself as well. Like I've seen, shown him tape, like I've seen what you're doing. That fills up because it's hard to come in cold. You don't play the whole playoffs and come in feeling like, especially when it's because of an injury, you might think, oh, I'm just being put in to replace that. I wouldn't have touched the floor. But when you're empowered to think like, okay, no, I've seen something that I know you can actually be useful and effective, that just fills you with even more confidence to step up. But you're just seeing it's night and day between this playoffs and last playoffs in terms of how much the team has bought into to Mazzulla. Like, yeah, they've completely bought into his philosophy, even with that. He'll foul up six with Derek White, which is crazy, bro. I would have been sick. I would have been sick, bro. If I was a Celtics fan watching that, and he tries to foul him, they ignore it, and he hits the three. I would be sick, bro. Like that was crazy. And the ref was right next to them as well. Like,
I
nah,
don't understand how like and White was literally waving at the ref like, look, I fouled,
yeah,
and like the ref just don't care, just play on. Like what? Yeah.
that's a wild miscue. They got bailed out anyway, but that's a wild miscue. Um, okay, so let's get into well, firstly, KP, and because we're talking about Tillman already, yeah, that's a tough situation. Do you think he plays again?
Uh, I think there's reports that there's possibility he plays in Game 4, but I don't think he needs to play in Game 4. Like if they think he can play in Game 4, send him out and play Game 5. So because like with this type of injury where it's like 30 cases, like apparently it's not like very serious injury, but at the same time you don't want to make it to something worse. So it's just like you rather than sit him out. Like there's no point playing Porzingis when you're 3-0 up. If it was tight
Porzingis shouldn't
series,
play unless
maybe.
Porzingis shouldn't play unless like it goes to like game 6, game 7 or something,
Yeah.
and you actually need him because you've got to think about already the career expectancy of a player once they go above like 7'2" is very like it gets dicey. And
And the
once you
problem
start,
is he has qualifying tournaments with Latvia next month.
mm,
So it's like I don't
it's
think he would. Of course, he would love to play in the finals, but at the same time, he would say like, "We, if you really need me, I will play." But at the same time, I think he would love to play because it's qualifying tournament for Olympics. Like, of course, like country like Latvia would love to have a basketball team on the Olympics. It's like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I would say is don't play like Game 4. Like if
there's
he's
no
not
there's,
100%, don't play.
there's no reason to play him. Uh, he should obviously it's an unfortunate situation, but he should hang his head like knowing that he should hold his head high, knowing that he made this. He came off. I don't know how long it had been, maybe even almost 2 months without playing, and made legitimate impact. Like he
Yeah.
won them a game in the finals, and that should be good enough to feel like you
And
earned
even
it.
in the Game 2, when after he got injured, he still made plays. He got
Yeah,
that block on Gafford when he was injured already.
yeah,
So it's like, yeah, like 100. Like I think he knows, and like especially everyone on the team will die. Like this team is like when you watch clips of their like practicing and like Brissett's vlogs when they're on the planes, like the vibe is complete, like it's just completely different. So it's
yeah.
like, yeah,
No,
he'll be fine.
it's good to see. Like they've fully. It felt like last year was kind of a hangover from that uh awful situation with the coaching and everything,
Yeah.
and it was just a weird kind of cloud that was over the franchise, and they've definitely gotten over that. And
Especially
mate,
because it was like they went to finals the year before and then
yeah,
like
yeah,
that happened. So it's like yeah,
yeah. But Mazzulla's fine. He's got the locker room now, and
yeah.
not just that. It's just he tactically everything. That was his first season coaching. Now he's really coming to his own. He's got his own philosophy. He's got his own coaching staff. It's not just like
And
feeling like
he's
that.
already losing his coaching staff because like they're playing well.
Yeah, because they're doing so well. But yeah, no, honestly, it the Celtics were built. They were built for this, and it's just kind of top down, championship team.
Yeah, hats off to Brad Stevens for doing this. Yeah, and the fact that like people saying, "Oh yeah, like Celtics haters especially, oh yeah, it's rigged." Like how you trade Porzingis for like you get the first pick back as well for trading for Porzingis, and then you get traded like acting like Porzingis was like, "Oh yeah, he's going for Celtics 100%." It was
Mhm.
literally out of like nothing. Oh, Celtics trading for Porzingis. Like what? So it's like it's just. haters.
Yeah, they gave up the Celtics did give up something they valued, and they made use
Especially
of
that, yeah, that's the thing. Like, oh, they say, oh, they gave up Marcus Smart. Like, they don't understand how much Marcus Smart meant to this team.
yeah, yeah,
So,
because in a locker room sense and in a, I mean, he's literally coming off a defensive player of the year win. Not that season,
yeah,
but you know
yeah,
what I mean. He has that
yeah.
under his belt. He was a big part. It was, I think, every Sox fan was like, yeah, we know we got better, but those things kind of affect. Sometimes you can get better on paper, but the fact that he's the heart and soul of the team can really affect, especially when you're coming off a season where, so the Ime Udoka situation happened. Now you go out sooner than you should have again the next year, and then you lose what you see as pretty important pieces with him and with Robert Williams as well. And you're like, like that could be the type of thing that loses like the
Don't
whole
forget
morale.
Grant Williams because everyone said we'll miss Grant Williams.
Yeah. Hey man, he'll always have that game against the Bucks, man, to close
Oh,
that.
100%.
Yeah, oh man, I wonder how he's feeling right now, man. Watching them two in the finals. But
Yeah,
yeah, nah, it's just testament, and this kind of scrubs away all the narratives as well over the past playoff series and everything because they beat the team that got through to the West, and they're about to beat them just as easily as they beat every other team, and they're the ones with injuries this
yeah,
time
and
around.
and the thing is, people will say, "Oh yeah, but Luka is not 100% healthy." Like, we're literally missing one of the biggest pieces we added in the offseason.
Yeah. And who no one's really 100% healthy at this point. I get that he's banged up, but like,
Yeah, exactly. Well, no one's 100% healthy. It's a
and
playoffs.
what do you think of 100% healthy Lucas do? Do you think he's averaging like 40 or 50? Like he's still bringing the same production that he normally does.
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't say,
he probably wouldn't be as cold on defense. He would at least try probably more if he was 100% healthy.
yeah, but I
And I
just don't
think
think,
that's a big difference. But at the same time, like, you never know when, like, I feel like he will cry more to the refs if he was 100% healthy. So
he'd have more energy to cry to the refs.
yeah, exactly. I
Yeah,
don't know.
nah, he definitely had a bit more to him in the OKC series. It was like every other game when it comes to the refs, he's got like a 40-inch vertical when he's jumping to scream at the
Yeah,
refs.
I've seen a lot of people say like okay, see, like he cried to the refs, then he calmed down a bit, and then he started crying again. It's like,
Oh, that's what happens when you're going up against like good physical defense. Because Dort pretty much got into his head, and that was that. And then now, like, yeah, I mean, well, he's getting clamped by Sam Hauser now instead of Dort, but
that's the thing, like somehow it's crazy.
yeah, and I love that. I do love that the Celtics are not trying to hide like players like Sam Hauser and Pritchard. They're letting them step up and show it because you put your defense in a scramble when you're trying to like go out of your way to make sure that this matchup doesn't get exploited and all of that. Like you just play straight up. You trust your team. Yeah, that's just a team that all year they've been top when it historical offense and yeah, their defense as well. So um, yeah, they're just cooking. Yeah, so as we said, the series is pretty much over. We're at the point where we kind of got to with Cavs Warriors back in the day after they signed KD, where it was like half the series isn't even about the series. It's just is Steph gonna win Finals MVP or is KD gonna win Finals MVP? And um, there's been a ladder throughout the series. Uh, very confusing. I mean, what they had Kyrie over Drew Holiday over Luca himself.
Yeah.
No, no, I get like as a hater, I understand hating on Luca right now, sure, but he was the only person really doing anything in the first two games. Obviously, he's been a cone, but on the offensive end, he pretty much been the only dependent player until last game.
Oh,
So
without him, it would be even worse. So it's like,
way worse, way worse. Uh, and yeah, Kyrie, yeah, he had himself a game last game, but nah, it doesn't justify the first two games that he had. Uh, it was quite funny last game. He tried to recreate the because pretty much most of his game winners have been from that same right wing.
yeah,
That was a bad shot, man. With Al Horford on him, could have blown
yeah. That's
by.
the thing. He had Al Horford on him.
Terrible shot, man. I mean, cool. If it goes in, if it goes
Yeah,
in, great.
it's a tie game.
I'll take the ceiling and I'll take the ceiling off the roof as
Yeah.
well. So I'm ceiling off the roof. I'm turning to Michael Jordan. The ceiling is the roof. Take the ceiling off the whole arena, but um, yeah, man, no. But well, let's not waste time on the players that have no chance anyway. Let's talk about actual Celtics on that list. I mean, at one point, yeah, Drew had himself a game. I mean, game one, it would have had to be KP.
Yeah.
But realistically, this is pretty much between.
I would
Yeah,
say it's not even between Browns to lose at this point.
yeah. It depends though. It depends. Because I don't know. Growing up, I'm thinking in the David Stern lens of how he would, how he would, like he's not letting David Stern would not let Tatum lose Finals MVP. Well, I mean, David Stern wouldn't let Luka foul out either. Like he would have had, yeah, no, no. Especially if it goes to a challenge, he's like, nah. But yeah, it's Browns to lose. It's Browns to lose. And it would be a good full circle moment for Brown because uh he caught a good amount of the smoke for that finals loss. Obviously,
Well, yeah,
I know
even
Tatum, I know Tatum, obviously, yeah, Tatum was too, but like the whole no left and all of that stuff, and I
yeah, I
mean,
feel
yeah,
like it's all no left started from those finals.
yeah, he was getting absolutely flamed, and then obviously when he signed the record-setting deal as well, so that would be a real full circle moment for him to come away with that hardware. And as he said himself before the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, that he'd never won anything. So yeah, that would be cool for him to get that accolade. I mean, what? Because the thing is, I don't know if there's a much that Tatum can do to get ahead of him, just because.
I feel like if it goes to fives, he just needs to more like insane scoring games, and he'll win. Because the first two games, the thing is, what's so annoying to me, all the haters like yes, Tatum is not scoring well, but he literally did everything else but not
Mhm.
scoring. And like when you
Yeah,
look at those previous finals, if he can't hit shots, he basically will do nothing else.
he's not a factor. Yeah, Tatum. The knock on Tatum earlier in his career was that he would just kind of float by if he wasn't on it offensively, scoring wise, he would just kind of float by. But yeah, watching these finals, watching the full game start to finish, I don't really know how you can come out of it saying that Tatum's had a bad series. I can see how, I mean, I have Brown ahead of him, but in terms of him having a bad series, with the impact that I've seen him have with my own two eyes, um, with just the growth that he's had in terms of being able to defer to other teammates, there's been a lot of points. I mean, we joked about the decisive threes last game, but he kind of earned the right to take a few heat checks after the first half that he was having anyway. But in terms of most of the series and how there were so many shots that were kind of available to him, but he would just consistently make the right decision and give the shot up to someone open. And that's a big reason why the Celtics are even where they're at, because the offense just never really defaults to hearable in any
And
sense.
I feel like previous seasons, when he drives into the lane and there's like three bodies, I feel
Mhm.
like he would try to dunk or lay up every single time. Now he just like literally passes to the open man every single time,
Yeah.
which
And
makes
that's contagious. When your best player does that, everyone's gonna do that. Everyone's gonna do that. And he set the tone. His leadership is hit another level. Um, and he's a champion and he's a winner now. And I think that losing in 2022 was probably a big eye opener for him, in terms of what he has to do to be a champion. And in the same way that I guess Brian Windhorst is talking about Luca, I think he had that like epiphany, like, whoa, like I need to change the way I'm playing if we're gonna have a
Uh,
trust.
I wouldn't
Because
be surprised if he had no epiphanies.
no, I'm saying Tatum. I'm saying
Oh,
Tatum.
Tatum, yeah, but I would say
Think
Luca.
Tatum
I
got hit with that hard reality. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about Luca. It might be too late for him. But yeah, it's like it's night and day. And yeah, he's a winner. And he's this team have been almost there so many times to know how hard it is to win. I think
yeah,
having all that early experience, however many conference finals they've been in, so they were in the finals a couple of years back, and that's a series where they started 2-0, up 2-0, and they just know how hard it is to win. And so Tatum just really taking on that winner's mentality, and the nasty narratives of him not enjoying his teammates win, like Brown doing better or anything like that. I, how happy he looks, like he looks like the happiest guy on the bench every time in the reactions, everything. So that's just dumb in itself, man.
and I feel like he said himself, like, I don't care, like, I will do anything, like, to basically win the championship now. Like, I
Yeah,
don't care, like, if I can't score, I will do everything else, all the little things that I need to do to win. So it's like it's gonna be different. And like he said after the game, that's like, oh, like early in career, people were like, oh yeah, he's scoring all that, but like he's winning nothing. And now he's potentially winning championship, and he's like, oh yeah, but you're not scoring. Like, come on, it's like literally hate this mentality. You
yeah,
literally just don't like Boston and Dayton. So it's like just okay. Just I saw a good tweet yesterday when like all the media said like, oh yeah, Mavs in five, Mavs in six. Just
yeah,
admit that you hate Celtics and like, just like say, oh yeah, I'll pick Mavs because I don't want Celtics to win. Just say that. I feel like
yeah.
even people will appreciate it more than you basically lying and trying to come up with something. Like just say it. I don't like unless like producers would be like, no, like we need narratives and like clicks, obviously. But I feel like comments like that would get even more clicks, not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much, man. It's just haters. But at the end of the day, narratives will not matter. When you win a chip, you win a chip. And that is what
Yep.
it is. You never take that away from the team and from the players. So I think he's just reached that point where he's done everything. He's got the endorsements, he's got the accolades, he's got the All NBAs. He's gonna be online for the big deals, contracts, and all of that stuff. Winning is what's left, and you play for that franchise. I'm sure the day you get drafted, the day you walk into that facility, into that city, you know that there's that one banner.
Yep.
That's been the thing. So you want to add to that type of legacy. Uh, that's the only way to make it happen. So yeah, man, they're one away.
Yeah, but yeah, as we about Brown, yeah, I feel like, and especially since he had, I feel like more highlights in the finals as well. That
Yeah,
would
I just
probably,
feel like his play's been more timely as well in terms of the big, like the shots that he hits and the plays he makes defensively. The plays that when it happens, you're like you feel
yeah,
the shift in energy, as he says, he's an energy
yeah,
shifter. Those are the plays where you're like, oh, like okay, you know the players, fans, whoever. Like when you hear after plays he makes and you hear the volume go down in the crowd and everything like that. They were just timely in that third quarter last game, for example, and towards the end of the game as well. Yeah, they were just timely, and yeah, he's a winning player as well. So um and they'll be either of them will be very like happy for each other. But being a team,
obviously. I
getting
feel
it
like
done after they've been having this whole split the Jays thing for like how I don't even know how long. I remember we had like a episode about when we were like uni.
yeah,
Uh
literally we had an episode at uni like
like
split it to
so for them to
Jays.
get it done and prove that wrong, I don't think it will matter to them who walks home with the trophy, man, because they're taking the whole trophy home,
Yeah,
the ultimate trophy home anyway. Um, bro, how do you feel, man? How do you feel? Because it's not happened
I
yet.
feel I know it's weird because like I feel like I'm calm and then like I feel like game is coming up and I'm getting more and more nervous every single game day. I was like, oh yeah, like it's game and that's fine. And then like later, I guess like I'm more nervous. I guess,
Mm,
especially during the game one, I was
yeah,
so nervous during game one. But like now, I don't know. Like in the last game, I was like yeah, 13-point lead, but yeah, like it's possible. And then like 1 point, and like I'm used to these Celtics now that like but yeah, it doesn't. I feel like it when the final like siren goes, then I would actually realize what's happening probably because now it's
yeah,
like yeah, it's like finals okay, but like trying to basically, I will say that like it's not over until it's over, so it's
yeah.
like yeah, I'm just staying calm for now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
like
feel
before every game, I'm just too nervous.
Yeah, I think every fan of a playoff level team, not even a contender, of a playoff level team, comes into the season with a level of delusion, and then every contender just has that faith, like, okay, like we might be able to get it done. When they reach a point where it's actually okay, like we actually will get it done, and I've never reached the point you're at now where you're up 3-0 in the finals as a fan. I think the closest I ever got to it was those conference finals, and because that was a weird series, because obviously that's a season where one team had 73 wins, so it's like you're just expecting them to win the whole time. The Spurs had, I think they had like 67 themselves, or maybe yeah, 67. And then they'll be like OKC were just peaking at the right time, so it's like okay, like oh we're up 3-1 on this team. So then it starts to get real, like that delusion starts to fade a bit. Um, but I mean, what you're about to be the first one in of the podcast to actually witness with their own two eyes their team win a chip, like as a fan. So yeah, that would be one.
I just said I'm staying calm until it's like it's happening, and then like yeah, every single tweet I get about Celtics, I will put just
Oh,
championship photo under it.
you got the bookmark ready. You got the bookmarks ready. Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Like I just at one point, I think it was after game. I was just too annoyed with all the Tatum like talking about Tatum and like how bad I just left with her. I just couldn't be. I just like I'm
Bro,
done. I'm done with this today.
if I were you, I would block Kendrick Perkins because he's about to tweet the
Oh,
most.
I blocked him over like one time ago.
Because,
Like,
bro, he's about to tweet the most shameless thing when they win, bro, about like being a Celtic and like, oh, so proud of my team. Like, he's about to do the most shameless thing like you'll ever see in your life, bro.
I've been watching those road tripping like game after games with like Jefferson, the China Tribe, but like
Yeah.
Perk is most delusional person ever. Like, oh my god.
No, we don't
Like
even get
he
to
still
the
needs
whole.
to apologize to Joe Mazzulla what he said about him, about the bird flying backwards
Oh,
comments.
that was crazy.
If
That was,
like if it's a sweep, he needs to apologize to Joe Mazzulla. And
yeah, man.
you know he won't, and he'd say like, "Oh, but look at this dude." Shut up.
No, no,
And he said that
that's the game
Jalen
plan they
Brown is
do.
the best
It's him,
player on the
yeah.
Celtics.
Whether it's him, whether it's Stephen A, they do the thing where they'll say the hot take, and then it's win-win because if the person then does do what they say, they're like, yeah, 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 I was right. And if they prove them wrong, they're like, oh, I motivated them.
Yeah,
So that's just how it goes, man.
yeah,
Uh,
it's embarrassing.
we
Yeah.
won't even get into that the reaction to the LeBron on following him. We won't even get into that, man. That was just
Oh no, no,
crazy.
no, I don't think it's worth it. But yeah.
That's a new low for sports media for sure. That's a new low. Um, but yeah, man. That's it really for this episode. Um, and try and fight for my life to get this one out before game 4. But yeah, the next one we shoot might be as Boston Celtics crown champions. So
Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm Josh Masoki.
Matas Baranaukas.
That was an episode of Full Court Talk. Yeah.